Holy hell, guys, what a trailer we got. I want to break down the trailer as much as I can. Anyway, let's waste no time. You can see my opinion on the top right about the trailer and what I think about the movie. And yeah, let's hop right into it. First and foremost, and yes, I did find something on the very first frame of the trailer. We can see on the right there is a incubator or a cage that says something Dawn / Raptor. This could be the Mutadon we see later in the trailer. It looks like the same incubator. It looks like probably the same everything. And that really takes away the fact that this is a mutant and not a hybrid. The fact that they're mixing a raptor and a pteranodon might indicate that this is indeed a hybrid and not a mutant like we originally thought. Next, I want to talk about how big this really is. You can see that this door is just the beginning of how big this really is. I think this huge bar on top is actually halfway, and this probably even extends higher, which really shows you the scale of how big this cage or tank really is. And this reminds me of the Jurassic Park 4 concept art, where they had that huge tank, the InGen people watching, with a mutant dinosaur. Now, something we rarely get in the Jurassic universe: gunfire. Gunshots at presumably the D-Rex. Now this is really interesting, and I wonder what the context is. They probably went into the D-Rex cage thinking it's dead. Yeah, well, it wasn't. So they shoot at the D-Rex thinking that it'll kill it, but who knows, maybe it's bulletproof like the Indoraptor was, or it just gets really pissed off and goes on a killing spree. Here we can see the D-Rex name is actually leaked. In movie is called the D-Rex. We thought that maybe they didn't name it in the movie and it would just kind of be a monster. For merchandising, they called it the D-Rex, but no, it is officially D-Rex in the movie. Now we can see this the gas actually leaking out of the chamber. What this gas is doing, I'm not too sure. It could be one of two things. I talked about in an earlier video how it could either be disintegrating and be like acid on the D-Rex to kill it, or it could have just knocked it out, and that's why they went in the cage, was to retrieve the D-Rex or whatever they needed from it while it was knocked out. Now, something unrelated to the actual trailer, but something I found really cool, was the acting, the sheer acting of this man begging for his life. And I think this absolutely shows you how scary this movie is going to be. Gareth Edwards did say that this is going to be a horror movie, and it is being taken in full effect in this scene right here. And rightfully so. I think in previous Jurassic films, they've taken death very lightly. Here it's very serious, which I like. Really gives you a sense of personality and kind of puts you in the shoes of the character. What would I do if there was a huge mutant dinosaur behind me, about to eat me, and yeah, I would never see anything again because I'd be dead. Next, we learn that 24 species have survived on this island. Now, just to name a few, there's Spinosaurus, Titanosaurus, T-Rex, Mosasaurus, Dilophosaurus, Parasaurolophus, Aqualops, Mutadon, and the D-Rex. Ankylosaurus should also be in there, and the rest is pretty unknown. However, should be incorporated in the movie, or we don't get all 24, which I would actually like, because it allows for it to expand more in the sequel, which is pretty much guaranteed, says the Gaming Beaver. Yes, I did watch pretty much everyone's breakdown, really mix all of them together and see what someone found and someone didn't. What I found myself, which no one got, like the Raptor Pteranodon. There was rumor that there'd be 2 T-Rexes in this movie because a render was shown and it was a gray T-Rex with a lip scar. However, the T-Rex shown in the river raft scene does have a lip scar and should be the new model for the T-Rex that was leaked. The T-Rex that was leaked is the same as the T-Rex in the movie, so presumably there is only one T-Rex and not 2. Next, a beautiful roar is shown by an unknown species. It kind of sounds like a distorted T-Rex, but I do think that this is the normal T-Rex. It might be the D-Rex, but I highly doubt that the D-Rex would make a T-Rex sound, knowing how mutated it is, versus the T-Rex just being a normal T-Rex. Maybe it is just an updated T-Rex roar, which would be cool because it'd be the first and unique roar in about, I don't know, since 1993. Next, we can see really how many Titanosauruses there are, plus the new design, which I think is really cool. I actually prefer it over the last one. As we can see here, we get another shot of the Quetzalcoatlus, which I really love this shot because it reminds me of one of my favorite birds, the shoebill. You can really see how they did take inspiration from an actual animal's design. And just like the Mosasaurus taking the inspiration from a whale, I really like that. Now, I do want to say something else that doesn't really have to do anything with the trailer, but my thoughts myself. When the trailer goes ta 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 and the random action sequence,
if we get this DNA, millions of lives are saved.
I actually got chills. Alejandro Desplat, I believe the composer is, really did a great job on the Rebirth soundtrack, and it really shows in this trailer because I got chills just off the music alone. Martin Krebs looks up and sees a dead dude with a gun. Now, in an Empire magazine, we actually hear that Martin Krebs is pointing a gun at a velociraptor. Is this where he could get it from? He points the pistol at the raptors. They pause, spooked, then back away, disappearing into the misty night. Yeah, you better run. And we see Zora later with a pistol, so this might be the gun that is passed around and used to, scare off the dinos. I love the sound effects on this trailer. This is another thing that's just personal for me. I love the sound effects and this ha kind of thing in the middle, and it really gives you a sort of tingling on your skin and a displeasant feel, and I really like this horror element that Jurassic World Rebirth is pushing and Gareth Edwards is incorporating. Now this night scene, you can really see the scale of this island, and you can see Mr. Jonathan Bailey plays Alan Grant 2.0. Dr. Henry Loomis shoots a flare in the eye, or shoots a flare in the sky to signal a copter. This might be towards the end of the movie, and I hope they don't give too much away for the end of the movie because I want that to be completely unknown. Also, on Jurassic World's Twitter, we see that they listed as the final trailer, which I absolutely love. This is epic and everything we need from a trailer while not giving too much away. It did give away a lot, but just enough for the marketing and advertising to be even more. We can see our first look at Dolores the Aqualops, which I think looks amazing. I really like the design, and it's really cute what it's supposed to be. I'm really looking forward to seeing it in the movie. That's all I really have to say about that. Then we see Ro trying to be Godzilla so bad. The D-Rex sneaking behind Dr. Henry Loomis, and it is massive. You know what else is massive? My happiness after seeing this, because this is an amazing shot and really shows, I don't want to glaze Gareth Edwards too much, but he really knows what he's doing when it comes to the scaling and these types of movies, especially since he's taken a bigger approach to these dinosaurs. They're not normal sized, they're all huge, kaiju size even. The Mosasaurus and the D-Rex, and not to mention how big that T-Rex is, might even beat the Indominus in a fight if they squared off. Might even beat the JP3 Spino. We'll have to find out to see what it does. Then we get Zora Bennett saying, "Run," like Claire does in literally every single movie. Run! Then we get this beautiful shot of the D-Rex roaring at Mr. Duncan Kincaid, I'm pretty sure. We can really see this distorted T-Rex look. It looks amazing in my opinion. I really like it. I've never not liked it. I've always liked it. I've never said anything bad about the D-Rex. I've always been positive and always trusted Gareth Edwards and thought he knew what he was doing. And yeah, I never doubted him for 1 second.
Why is there a mutant in Jurassic World? I don't have words for how much I hate this.
We can also see where the fire-breathing T-Rex rumor came in from, because there's a lot of fire and flare up in this scene. The design of the Mutanon is now revealed. Here are some 4K picture, so you get a really good look at it. And from someone who was never ever skeptical about this and always thought this design was going to be amazing and the way they were going to incorporate it is going to be amazing.
I don't have words for how much I hate this.
Now, of course, I'm joking about that part, but yeah, I really do like this design, and the way that they're incorporating it is really fits the movie. A lot of people don't like it, and I've kind of noticed a trend where the people who like Jurassic Park like this design, but the people who like dinosaurs and paleo don't, which makes sense. I also want to talk about how the advertising, all they say is how it's a love letter to Steven Spielberg, how it harkens back to the first film, and while I think that's cool and all, this does not look like Jurassic Park at all. I've always said this is a whole different movie by itself, and it could even be a whole different genre as Jurassic Park. It could even be a whole different movie. It doesn't even have to be related to Jurassic Park. So instead of advertising and trying to nostalgia bait everyone, I do think that this has really big potential in being its own thing. Now the Mosasaurus scene looks really cool. We got some new looks at him really trying to crash the boat into the rocks and pull the people out. That wraps up the breakdown of the trailer, but we did get some new posters. Here they are. And one I want to talk about is the Spinosaurus. Yes, the Spinosaurus might have gotten a slight tweak to its design. Its head does look more like a Spinosaurus. There is sadly no crest, but the neck does look elongated and more narrow. Not by a lot, just a bit. It is still going to be chunky, and it is still going to be flat and not like a swan's, but it is, in my opinion, an upgrade. I also want to talk about how much this glows up and basically makes the first trailer look like crap. The first trailer made me think it was going to be some like Marvel movie, and this trailer, I can't even put into words how much I love it. Of course, I haven't seen the movie yet, but this trailer has made me more optimistic than any other news possible. And yes, that is a goal of the trailer. However, this connects in a different way that Dominion and Fallen Kingdom never did. This is probably the trailer of the Jurassic series, the trailer of the summer, and I think this is gonna be the movie of the summer, even with Superman and Fantastic Four. I don't know if this is gonna be biased, but this is definitely gonna be my favorite movie, and this is definitely gonna be the movie that I think should perform the best at the box office, and the one that might be the movie of the year. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. It would be highly appreciated from a small channel like myself. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. And I saluted you guys away.